Alright, continuing our If We Pick the Winner special, we move on to Best Supporting Actor, a category which has been big for villains, but not so much this year.
Not really many stick-out villains this year.
No, absolutely not. I think a lot of the villains in many movies this year left a lot to be desired, to be quite honest with you, with the exception of maybe Sam Rockwell and Iron Man, but not a good enough performance to warrant an Oscar nomination.
No,
that's
like
he was good.
He
helped the movie go along, but still, it's not. That's probably one of the better ones I've seen this year. But no, moving on. Obviously, Best Supporting Actor, good nominations this year. Okay, we're gonna list them off here. We got Christian Bale in The Fighter, John Hawkes in Winter's Bone, Jeremy Renner in The Town, Mark Ruffalo in The Kids Are All Right, and Jeffrey Rush in The King's Speech.
A lot of range of character in this.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of diverse...
this probably won't be much of a surprise.
Right, a lot of diverse roles. And we got Christian Bale in The Fighter.
Yes, this was a difficult category to choose because I liked Jeffrey Rush just as much. Really, if either of them win, I would be satisfied, but I really think that Christian Bale just had that little extra bit of something,
yeah,
you know, and yeah. I don't know, what can you say? I mean, he played a drug addict that you didn't even really realize he was a drug addict for half the movie.
Absolutely.
You know, so he really led you along that way. It wasn't obvious, but he was consistent, and yeah, I thought that he kind of stepped out of his own box, and you know, even from the first moment that he was on screen, you know, the girl that I saw it with, we turned to each other, we're like, whoa. So it was definitely like that kind of Heath Ledger-esque,
yes,
you know, Dark Knight-esque, Joker-esque, you know, scene-stealing way. And if you remember from the For Your Consideration show, I thought that he should have been nominated for Best Actor, not Best Supporting Actor. But, you know, it is how it is, and I think that he deserves to win.
This was coming. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Well, here's my pick then.
Christian Bale for The Fighter.
Yeah,
we're like so in agreement.
There's
no controversy.
I think the planets are aligned. Last year we were already at each other's throats by this point in time, but not really at each other's throats. We didn't get to that until we got to the Best Actor, but we were still in disagreement in a lot of things. But no, the thing is that a lot of people always say, I think the Oscars are notorious for giving recognition to actors who go beyond their recognition. But here's the thing, I think sometimes the Oscars kind of mistranslate that when they don't look the same. But it's more than just not looking the same at Bill.
It's their behavior, their mannerisms,
He didn't sound the same. No. He didn't. That's the thing. Nothing about him at all.
There was kind of a childishness to him. You know, but at the same time, he's trying. You know, he's trying to be in this adult world, but he's still a child, really. You know, and he brought that across really. You know, solidly. You're with him from the beginning to the end, even though he wasn't really a likable character. You know, you still wanted to see kind of where he was going, and he kind of led.
He was interesting.
He led the story along.
He did.
So.
He was pretty much the steering drive behind that movie to really just pull it all together. And the thing about his performance too is that he really gives the movie its identity as well. He gives the whole background of what's going on between you know, Ward's family life as well as his boxing career, the true identity it needs.
Exactly.
And that is why I think he stands out above everyone else here. And there were a lot of, again, everybody nominated here was very good. John Hawkes, Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, and even Jeffrey Rush, tremendous. Nice to see him playing a likable character for once. But they were all good here, but at the same time, you know what I mean, it's just, he was that much better. Like, they were great, but he was that much better. And when you play a role like this, you got to be careful not to try to overshine your stars. Even though he did end up outshining star Mark Wahlberg, that wasn't his intent. That wasn't his intent.
No, when I think of the movie, I think of Christian Bale.
Yeah,
really, Mark Wahlberg, but he did it to himself. Like, he could have been just as good, but he.
I think Mark Wahlberg was good in that film.
His performance left a lot to be desired.
It really did.
So it didn't take much for Christian Bale to outshine him.
I think even the makers of the film knew that Bale was going to be the guy to carry this movie. It was like that when the hype around it was, even before the trailer was released, they were saying, no, this could be the career maker for Christian Bale.
And I want to be clear that it's not just because of the character he played, it's how he played it.
Yes, that's important.
It's not just, oh, well, he played a drug addict, oh, well, he played, you know, because a lot of times, you know, Oscars will be handed out or performances will be recognized because their character stood out the character itself was, different and unique in its own right. But in this case, it's not just that. It's the way he played it and the way, because he had to have a lot of control over it. Because again, you don't even know a lot about this character until halfway through the movie. He's a boxer, and you know that he's, a manager, and he has some problems, but you don't know what they really are and the severity of them. And, he carried that through the whole thing, even though the audience isn't in on it.
No. And that's the thing, and he's taken a lot of flack, I find, lately for his roles in The Dark Knight. It was his voice people always were on him about, and even in Terminator Salvation too, he was kind of cold sounding and whatnot. But I think that Bale's taken a lot of unfair flack. Obviously, he's a very talented actor from the get-go, from when he was younger in Empire of the Sun, and really just carried that on from being a child star to being a full-grown adult star. And he's changed his styles many times. He's not afraid to adapt to the world around him in a movie. He's not just being Christian Bale. He's being what he needs to play.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like what you said about sticking out. Big deal. I mean, Jim Carrey sticks out in his comedies a lot, but again, that's nothing. You got to go above and beyond just sticking out.
Exactly. You
got to stick out as an actor more than just a performer, like the character you're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And coming up next is our pick for Best Actress.